Peter, good to see you again. I hope all is well in our respective remote locations for the foreseeable future. One of the things that we've been sort of looking at this year is the effect of the extraordinary circumstances that we are all dealing with and the media consumption that comes along with that. And I know that some of the research from our recent Nielsen Total Audience Report sort of looks at differences between the media consumption of people who historically work from home and those who are more new to working from home. And I guess kind of like just anything else, it takes a bit of time to sort of settle into new routines. So I'm curious on what you're seeing in some of the survey results that we recently fielded.
Hey, Bill, thanks for having me. Yeah, work from home was the main focus of our total audience report that we just released. And yeah, we did look at those traditional work from homers and those new work from homers due to the pandemic. And if you think about the traditional work from homers, those are the ones that have been doing it for a while. So they're already set up with their routine. They have their morning home routine, right? They have their work routine and they have after work routine. So I think by this time they've already drawn those boundaries of what work life looks like and what home work looks like. And that's something brand new for people who were just uprooted from their desks in the office or their whatever location that they're at. And they're still being developed. I mean, it really is unprecedented times. So you have people who were used to perhaps a short commute or even a long commute like me, and then getting that time back. I mean, I'll get back maybe 3 hours to my day. And that's like 3 hours that I can use for either work or either personal stuff. It could be even sleeping later or going to bed later. It could be anything. And it's that added choice that this work from home it gets set up provides to the consumer, provides to each individual person.
So you mentioned that extra 3 hours. I think we could do a lot of these Q&As in those extra 3 hours, right, Peter?
That's right.
So one of the things that I noticed in some of the survey data is that the folks that are newer to working from home seems like they over-index a little bit on the digital side of the media consumption. Is that fair? And what are the implications there in terms of how that's manifesting?
Yeah, so using some custom studies that we did, we're able to look at the actual media use for TV and digital between those traditional work from homers and those COVID work from homers. We compared them to overall adults. And for the most part, those work from home groups, it was more digital, it was more TV connected devices than your average adult 18 plus, and less of that traditional live plus time shifting TV. But when we look at the two groups, the traditional work from homers versus the COVID work from homers, it's that second group, the COVID work from homers, again, those that started once the pandemic hit. We see more digital and we see more TV connected device use.
I think one of the things that was most interesting to me, given that there isn't a commute for many Americans, is that media or radio consumption is still pretty high. In fact, it seems like even when you're not in the car for an hour or two a day, it's sort of become this constant companion. And I guess that's both digital as well as traditional, but it sort of speaks to the resilience of probably one of the longest running media types we have, yet many people are thinking about digital and streaming and what's the latest show to binge, right?
Yeah. So we have our panel data, right? And we know that, let's say radio has the highest reach of all platforms. 91% of people listen to radio weekly. And we know when people are on the job, I mean, the radio is on. And we asked that within our survey, how often they use different platforms when they are working from home. And 75% of people responded that they listen to music while they're home, either daily or at least once a week. So with the highest reach, we also see that happening within the home with simultaneous use while they're working. It could be something that people are doing, taking from their work and bringing it home for some sort of sense of normalcy. But it is that companionship. And that also, is it just audio? It's also video. People have TVs on in the background for noise. Maybe you need some clatter to mimic the clatter that you had in the office space, or just in general, something else going on within the office to keep you company. So it's definitely something that we're seeing. It's different media use. It's added media use. We know that people have more time in their day now from working from home. That would allow them to perhaps connect to different media programming content, whether visually or audibly at their leisure.
So, Peter, sorry about the digital clatter there. Certainly, I can't escape despite my efforts to get away from the alerts. But it was good to catch up, and thanks very much for your time.
Likewise, thanks, Bill.